side like this. So now let's show a number of things, number of functions that we can do here. And let's start by sending. Let's say that I am a translator and I want to send term suggestions. I think that granted here, for instance, granted is let's say that I would like to have this as a term suggestion. I think that this should be a term. I just right-click, add new term. Now there are a couple of warnings coming up, security warnings in SDL. I'm not sure why they are, but we couldn't figure it out yet. And this Java null is also something that is in SDL, so please, I don't know, they are there for some reason. Anyway, so here we have the granted, and I just say save this entry. I don't need to put any translation or anything. I just want to send it as a suggestion. Let's see what's happening here. It says that we added a one-term suggestion in TermWeb. So let me now go into TermWeb, which I have in the background. I log in. And as we said, we want to be in the suggestions section, because that is where we place our term suggestions. As you can see here, this granted term just arrived. You can see the time and date and so on, concept created with one term. Now, I will just show a little flow process, of course, a very, very simplified, and just for the demo purposes, you can, of course, have the different ways of doing it. What I do is I add it in the grid. And let's say that, okay, we believe that it should be in the main dictionary, in the main dictionary. So I save this, I say okay. Now I have another flow in TermWeb which says that when you change to finalized, move it automatically to the official, let's say that way, medical terminology section. As you can see here, we have granted, and it has gotten the process status finalized. And you can see who's done it and so on and so on. Now, what happens in TermWeb? All right, so what we've seen is the one entry has been updated because it is now finalized. We changed the status, it moved into the official section in TermWeb. So now, let's check again here what is happening. So go up here, down. We can see now that the term granted is recognized as a it now exists as a suggestion, which is, and you can see the section where it comes from. And when I do term details, you can see here that it is English, granted, term ID, comes from TermWeb, and the process status is finalized. So let's move forward. Let's say that, okay, I would like to add a translation to Swedish. Again, I do it in the grid. I right-click here, add new term in Swedish, and I call it godkänd. That's it. I save it. Okay. Close. So if we see what happens in TermWeb is that the English finalized as a Swedish term in it, or a Swedish translation, if you so want to say. Let's say what happens here. Okay, we see that there was an update with one entry. And if I go back here and I do trigger the recognition again, I can see the granted. I see now that my translation, Swedish, or godkänd, as it is here, is now available in the term recognition. And if I do a view term list details, I can see again this information. Term ID from TermWeb, the Swedish term godkänd. I can continue in the same manner, and I can also add a definition, because it is also important to note that it's not just translation or terms that I can add. It synchronizes with all information and fields and so on. So this is the definition. I'm not a translator or terminologist, unfortunately, so my examples are always a bit, well, strange. Anyway, so save, okay. I close this. Now you can see that the granted has a definition in it, and of course the whole history and everything. We are going back. I apologize for going back and forth, but it's just to show that what is happening and everything is like updated and all this information happening. And you can see now that we have an update in the entry on the entry case. I can just go up, down again, and by viewing term details, you can see this is a definition. So definition was added here. Of course, when I edit definition or when I edit the information in TermWeb, it will also be edited in Studio. So everything that you can do, you do just one time centrally in TermWeb, and everyone who is connected with the dictionary, with a particular dictionary, either through their the desktop variant of their multi-term or through a multi-term server, they will all get this information at once. So let's say that, I want to undo, because that is also one very important function in TermWeb. Let's say that I want to go to, I can go to where the concept was changed. Let's say that we go to before the Swedish term was created. So I restore to this one, go back in time, as they say. You can see that the only information that I see here is the definition is gone, the term, the Swedish term is gone. So this also should, of course, update the entry. As we can see, it happened already. I go here and I move up, then down again. And now you can see that the Swedish translation has been removed. And when I do a search of the view term details, I can see that the definition is gone because, of course, I restored to before I added the term, the definition, and before the time that we had the Swedish term here, the Swedish translation. So therefore, this is also, of course, updated. And now, let's say that I'm done with this entry as a whole. I'm not interested in this anymore. So I can just delete the whole entry. And of course, now granted is not here anymore. And as you can see here, that an entry was deleted. So this one that we deleted in TermWeb also, of course, get deleted in the Studio environment. So if I do like this and like this again, you will see that there is no term recognition. So this, don't ask me why this doesn't update, but it is a case anyway. So you can see that the granted has no recognition because, of course, we removed the whole the term that we had before. So I mean, this is just very simple demo to show you how we can add suggestions from the Studio environment. So translators can just send this the way they do in their own environments. They will go centrally to a TermWeb section or sections. And I'm sure I have probably received an information about this. You have a new term suggestion, yes. So of course, when a term was created or term suggestion, I also receive notification because it's in my workflow. I just had it in my workflows. I can go in TermWeb, I can edit, validate, translate, you know, the way you can do as usual with terminologies and so on. And at every step, when we are in the official terminology or the section that we want to be synchronized and we want to be visible in Studio, that happens continuously in the background, so that all the translators that are interested in English-Swedish combination or any other languages, they will always have the latest information in their own environments. Another cool thing is that I can go offline. This is one cool thing of having a local term base, is that I can go offline. I can stop this. I can stop my synchronizations that I have here. So I can just say stop or code or whatever you want to call it, go offline, work with the copy that I have, and then just jump online again. I just started, and it will recognize and see, okay, what has been synchronized into Studio since the last time I was there, and just synchronize those latest changes. So this is an added bonus of having a local term base in your computer. And you can see that it started, found no changes. So if it found some changes happening from the last synchronization, it will just give them to me into the studio. So thank you very much for joining, and watch out for some more lounges. I know that we have not been doing this so often, but we will be doing more and more this year. So watch out for those. And thank you very much for joining today.